Beautiful! Welcome to Galaxy Manifesto. This is Yvonne. On the journey of learning love and wisdom, we're never alone. A warm welcome if this is your first time here. This is a channel where we use color perception method as a gateway to inner exploration, learning to awaken our sixth sense, dive into subconscious, and walk the path of self-healing and greater happiness. Today, we are going to explore the third and fourth core meaning of the red on top, deep red on bottom card combination, happiness and trauma imprints, and psychological imbalance. Every heart carries both happiness and trauma imprints, like the spectrum of red, with both vibrant brightness and deep intensity reflecting off one another. The more deeply we have loved, the more likely we have also been hurt. Happiness imprint are inner treasures that reminds us love is real and life is beautiful. Trauma imprint are emotional scars, reminders of sorrowful chapters. But these two aren't completely opposite. They're intertwined, shaping our personality and emotional patterns. Happiness imprint are rooted in memories of being loved and held, just like a mother's embrace, encouragement to express freely, or feeling safe to be yourself. This experience formed the subconscious belief, I'm lovable, and it's safe to express love. In healthy environments where emotions are acknowledged and reciprocated, we plant these seeds of safety and trust. These imprints are later triggered in romantic intimacy, creativity, or nature, and empowering us to care, to trust, and to create. On the flip side, although this red combination often symbolizes warmth and love, it can also conceal unsolved trauma, childhood roots that require premature maturity, emotional suppression, or love giving out of obligation. These subconscious scripts can lead to overgiving in relationship and inability to receive or emotional burnout that goes unspoken. They may also stem from cultural or religious ideals of perfect femininity that equal love with self-sacrifice, instilling belief like I don't deserve love or intimacy will eventually hurt me. Healing begins with awareness. Learning to receive love and set boundaries rebalance this energy, transforming compulsive giving into a creative and fulfilling love. Instead of I must be perfect to be loved, we begin to believe I'm allowed to rest and be held. According to attachment theory, if a child receives consistent love caring, they develop a secure attachment style. It's trusting, open, and emotionally fluent. But if early caregiving was neglectful or unstable, they may develop insecure attachment, manifesting as anxiety or avoidancy in adult relationships. These are the long-term effects of trauma imprints. Let's compare two friends, May and Lee. May grew up in a loving home where her parents often hugged her, listened attentively, and encouraged emotional expression. These moments created strong happiness imprint. Where she began dating, she naturally trusts love, expressed her feeling openly, and approached intimacy with ease. On the other hand, Lee has a chaotic childhood. Her parents divorced, and she was often left in the care of relatives. She felt abandoned and unsafe, learning not to depend on others. As an adult, even when someone genuinely loved her, she questioned its permanence. Will this love last? As intimacy grew, she pulled back or became suspicious. These are all the behaviors driven by trauma imprints. Through May and Lee's story, we see the contrast. Happiness imprints foster emotional security, while trauma imprints build emotional walls. But that's not the end. By facing those imprints through therapy, new experience, and emotional nurturing, we can slowly rewrite them. Many people develop what's called earned secure attachment, meaning even we weren't securely attached as children, we can still learn to trust and connect as adults. There's a powerful and invisible link between love and the subconscious, and this red combination is one of its symbolic keys. Representing the upright Empress in tarot, it carries warmth, emotional depth, and life-giving energy. Red symbolizes love, passion, and action, while deep red connects to root safety, self-worth, and hidden memories. Together, we form a subconscious pattern. I want to love, and I want to be safely held, but they can also stir up past wounds that haven't healed. We often see this combination in culture symbols of romance. There's red rose, Valentine's gifts, sunset, romantic movie confessions. These images are deeply coded into our subconscious as symbols of being cherished. So when someone gives you red roses, that sweetness may be activating an all-cherished memory of love. According to Bowlby's attachment theory, those early loving moments become the foundation for adult intimacy. But if we have experienced intense conflict, rejections, or love that turned cold, this red tone may instead trigger fear and anxiety. The foundation of deep red feels shaky, and the passion of red becomes anxious and clingy, often resulting in insecure attachment. Psychologist Sue Johnson has said, most couple conflicts are not about surface issues, but about breaks in emotional connections. That's why we might overreact to small moments of feeling ignored or misunderstood. It's not just about now, but about old wounds being reopened. Take one example. A girl once told a boy she liked him, and he coldly replied, "You're too clingy." Years later, even when in a loving relationship, she still feels anxious. Am I being too much again? She wonders. That one moment became a trauma imprint. Now, whenever her red passion rises, so does that old hurt, quietly limiting her ability to trust. These memories don't respond to logic. They live in our heartbeat, in the silence we can't explain. They show us that emotional reactions aren't just present-day issues, but echoes of the past. Love can awaken joy, but it can also be a mirror for healing. When we are willing to see our imprints and understand their origin, love becomes more than a feeling. It becomes a conscious act of self-healing. This is the wisdom of the Empress upright, to nourish the forgotten self and to root our love in both soul and strength. While the color combination of red on top, deep red on bottom symbolizes love and nourishment, it can also represent an inner imbalance, particularly a tendency of lose oneself for love. This often leads to emotional patterns such as excessive empathy, difficulty expressing emotions, or blurry boundaries, like always caring for others, suppressing one's own needs to maintain harmonies, or believing that self-worth depends on pleasing and giving to others. Over time, this can cause emotional burnout, codependency, traits of borderline personality, or chronic anxiety. At the roots of these barriers is often a subconscious belief formed in childhood. Only by being gentle and self-sacrificing can I be loved. This belief makes it difficult to separate our own feelings from others' needs. Love becomes pressure instead of nourishment. Healing begins when we learn to set healthy boundaries, express our true emotions, and allow love to flow back toward ourselves as well. Now that we have explored emotional imprint, let's turn our focus to the psychological barriers that block us from growth and intimacy. These barriers are often born from unsolved trauma and negative core beliefs, and they showed up as repetitive patterns that hold us back. A psychological barrier can be like an invisible wall or a lingering shadow in the heart. For instance, someone might constantly hesitate in relationship due to a deep fear of getting hurt, or they may panic when closeness grows, even if they crave intimacy. Others might never fully trust others' affection, convinced they're unworthy of love. That deep belief itself becomes a barrier. Jungian psychology offers insight into this dynamic through the concepts of the persona and the shadow. The persona is the mask we wear to meet societal expectations. It's how we want others to see us. The shadow, on the other hand, holds all the parts we reject: vulnerability, anger, neediness. When we overly identify with our persona, we lose touch with our authentic self. The shadow suppressed for too long leaks out through projection, meaning we often blame others for what we cannot admit in ourselves. This creates emotional tension and conflict in relationships. For example, someone who was taught to never show weakness might grow up wearing a mask of toughness, but inside they hide all their needs and tenderness. As a result, they struggle to form close bonds because vulnerability feels unsafe. The very wall that once protected them becomes the thing that keeps love out. So how do we begin to dismantle these psychological walls? The first step is always awareness. When we are willing to pause and look inward honestly, we begin to uncover these hidden blocks. Ask yourself, do I tend to retreat just before success? Do I push people away when they get close? These habits often trace back to a deeper root. When we shine the light of awareness into the shadow, hidden fears and wounds begin to surface, and being seen is the beginning of healing. Often we will find that the wall we built was simply a way to protect a younger, hurt version of ourselves. But as the saying goes, love is like a warm home. It needs both windows and doors. If a house has no window for sunlight or door for people to enter, it becomes dark and suffocating. Similarly, walls built from fear may have once kept us safe, but now they block love from reaching us. Healing means slowly open the windows and doors. We start by letting in small amount of kindness and warmth, allowing people to care for us, even if just a little. We also practice setting boundaries, choosing who we let into our emotional home. As safety grows, defense can soften. It's not an overnight process, but every moment of openness, every act of receiving love helps to chip away at the wall. Eventually, what once felt like a block becomes an opportunity for growth. Through overcoming it, we become both softer and stronger. In love and relationship, color is more than visual. It awakens the subconscious. The combination of red on top, deep red on bottom symbolizes an union of active passions and grounded belonging. This mirrors the upright Empress card in tarot, representing warmth, nurturing, and emotional depth. But if this energy becomes unbalanced, it can activate emotional blocks, especially those rooted in attachment pattern. Red is a high stimulation color. According to color psychology research, red amplifies emotional response, particularly in romantic or intimate contexts, intensifying love, desire, and even anxiety. Deep red relates to our emotional roots, our sense of safety and self-worth. When passion is strong but the sense of emotional safety is weak, it can lead to an unconscious belief, I need love to feel worthy. If left unexamined, this emotional structure may manifest as love addictions or anxious attachment. Psychologist Susan Peabody found that people with love addiction often rely on being loved to feel valuable. When a relationship ends, they spiral into emptiness and panic. For example, a woman might send her partners many messages a day, constantly seeking reassurance. If he replies late, she became anxious, wonders what she did wrong, and may lower her self-worth just to keep the connection. This is not a simple sensitivity, it's emotional dependency rooted in fear. From a neuropsychological perspective, this is tied to the brain's amygdala, which responds to perceived threats. Red, as a stimulating signal, may activate the fear of abandonment. It triggers a love, it's a danger alert system, keeping us in a loop of overanalysis and constant reassurance seeking. That's why this color pairing reminds us, if you find yourself losing independence in love, needing constant validation, or fearing the loss of connection, pause, turn inward toward the deep red energy of grounding and self-care. Practices like mindfulness, walking barefoot on grasses, or inner child healing can help with build emotional nourishment. When your roots are strong, the fire of love won't burn you out. It will flow as a healthy reciprocal energy. Love should not be proof of your worth. It should be a steady, nature exchange. When your inner foundation is secure, the fear of "why don't you love me enough" will transform into "I know I'm worthy of love." In our next conversation, we will dive even deeper into self-awareness and personal growth. Gratitude to the universe. If you enjoyed this video, please like, subscribe, and share, so more people can discover the spiritual intuition behind colors and their deeper meanings. See you next time. Yoo-hoo!